I'm loving it. But am I though? I mean, McDonald's is like one of those really unhealthy places. And people are hating on it so much. I mean, yes, it isn't the best for you, but it's not going to kill you to eat there every once in a while. They do have some nutritious values to them, like, I don't know, the apple slices and the kids' meals or whatever, and also their burgers have veggies on them. But that's not much. I mean, compared to what all that really crappy junk, the healthy side of McDonald's is not that high. Well, the unhealthiness aside, though, McDonald's isn't that bad. I mean, we're really going to hate on it because of its unhealthy nature. Despite that, though, I really only like about less than 5% of their menu items. I don't remember how many they have now. I think it's like 100 something, but that's not counting the discontinued ones. But I originally learned from my mom that I actually used to like cheeseburgers when I was little. That kind of baffles me because I don't remember that. It just comes to show how much of a different person I was 15 years ago. That guy no longer exists. But anyways, now the McDonald's brand was actually stolen, I believe, by Ray Kroc, and I don't know all the details, but basically he took the name and opened a new restaurant right next to the original one and made it forgotten entirely, or something like that. It's a pretty ass-baggy thing to do. That would be like if someone took the name Behemoth Blogmaster and made it into a series of their own, and then it became more widely known than the actual Behemoth Vlogmaster that you're watching right now. Yeah, I don't think that'll happen. I highly doubt it, but still, that's the equivalent of that happening. That's just douchebaggy. Really now. Why? We all know how much ass copycats suck, so try to be more original. I mean, it wouldn't kill you. Well, anyways. Now, the drive-thru line for the first McDonald's, or at least the one under the Ray Kroc name or whatever, the one that Ray Kroc set up, it was a freaking 7 miles long, from what I've heard. I could be wrong, but that's just what I've heard. That is a stupid amount of time to be waiting in line for anything. Like, freaking 7 miles? I mean, if you were starving and you absolutely needed a meal, then it would probably be worth it at that point. But imagine being in the middle of that line and some asshole behind you was too close to your rear and you couldn't back out for any sort of emergency purposes. That would really suck. Well, anyways. Alright, so Ronald McDonald. We all know him. He didn't become the mascot of McDonald's until like roughly a decade later, after the Ray Kroc business was set up. I don't know where clowns come into play here. Like, when you think of McDonald's, or at least when I do, I thought it was named after, like, the song Old MacDonald Had a Farm, you know, it's kind of like that. And you did think about the farmer McDonald and not a freaking clown. Clowns are more widely known for being murderous than for being funny these days, like, seriously. But maybe that wasn't the same in the 60s, so who knows. Alright, so let's talk a little bit about their menu. I mentioned this in a previous episode, but it was kind of out of context there, so let's talk about it here. McDonald's attempted to serve pizza once. I have nothing wrong with a fast food chain wanting to experiment with new foods or different cooking techniques, but pizza is really its own beast entirely. Like, think about it. You see, it took too long to make the pizza, so they narrowed it down to personal sized. But even then, it still took too long, so they just dropped it entirely. McDonald's is known for having their food pre-made in advance for their customers. And even if they run out of burgers, they can still just warm some more up. Like, it doesn't take that long to flip a patty. But the pizza took like 11 minutes. 11 minutes to make. Places like Pizza Hut are set up to be like that because they have a call-in service where you can call their number and order a pizza. Then later you drive through their drive-thru and they'll pick it up. So yeah, that makes sense. But this is freaking McDonald's. They don't have no call-in service. Like, really. Waiting 11 minutes in a drive-thru at a McDonald's, or any fast food chain for that matter, is unacceptable. Like, you could watch a whole episode segment of SpongeBob in that time. 11 minutes my ass. Despite this though, there is one location that still has the pizza. Orlando, Florida somewhere. But why? Why just there? Like, I understand that people come from all over the world to go to Disney World, and they have special foods in that area for this special occasion. But why is it just that one place? Like, think about it. There's like thousands of McDonald's, and only one of them has the freaking pizza. It might as well should not exist at all. The McPizza doesn't even look like you would taste that good anyway, so what's the point? Well, anyway, so let's move on to Chicken McNuggets. I'd probably say that might be my favorite thing at McDonald's to eat. It shouldn't be that hard to decide because, I like very little of their stuff, but I heard from a friend many years ago that apparently at McDonald's, when they're making the McNuggets, they put all the intestines of the chicken in there. All of them. That's obviously a rumor, and nobody knows that for sure. I mean, I'm sure the people that work at McDonald's do, but basically I have no freaking idea. At first I was skeptical on that statement because I thought that there were parts of the chicken that would be illegal to put in there and weren't meant to be consumed. Now this part's going to sound a little gross and it might make you queasy a little, but you can always just stop watching this episode. So, but I hope they don't put the testicles in there. Really, I mean, I still hope they don't because I don't want to have to stop eating McNuggets altogether. But I heard that some places they actually deep fry bulls' testicles and sell them as food. That's legal apparently. So that could be a similar situation to the chicken at McDonald's, but who knows? Alright, well that's just a couple of menu items we've talked about, but I'm sure we all know this, but some McDonald's locations actually have playgrounds in them. And I'm pretty sure all of them have those little mini toys based off some movie that comes with the Happy Meal. Yeah, I'm guessing they are trying to appeal more to little kids, and I'm perfectly fine with that, but as long as it doesn't take priority over the freaking food. Like, you'd be surprised how many little assholes would go to McDonald's just to have a toy and not give a damn about the food. Okay, maybe they're not assholes, but they're just kind of punks. I mean, if we have the money to eat at McDonald's, we can probably afford to have a few of those little itty-bitty toys as well. And on top of that, regular outdoor playgrounds like at your school or freaking in your park, they're for free. So we don't need to go to McDonald's to do that, right? Well, whatever. It's like a fun place for kids, you can eat, you can play with toys and in the playground, whatever, but even more rare is some of them actually have video games there at some locations. Is that really necessary? It's a restaurant. Imagine if you went into freaking Red Lobster and you can just play Call of Duty or something. Actually, they should do that. Like, they should have a mode in the Call of Duty where you shoot the lobsters or something. I'm getting ahead of myself. Let's move on. But basically, I remember when I was like 12, we went to New Mexico and I went to a McDonald's that had a built-in GameCube or whatever, and I played it for a minute. But either my mom or my sister, I don't remember which one, but they were like, you have video games at home, Kale. Why not just play on the playground? And they have a perfectly good point there. It's not like you can even save your data at McDonald's anyways. Like, if you were an arcade, that might be different. But this is like an actual video game console that they just built in there. So what the hell? Why even bother? Well, folks, that was this episode. I will see you guys later. Goodbye.